Hello, everyone, and welcome back to a new season of Driver's Room Acelith Design Endurance Championship, or Adec for short. This is Season 1, Tier 2, Round 1 on Gran Turismo 7. I'm your host, Slingshot Cherberg, and today we are at the High Speed Ring, one of the classic tracks from the Gran Turismo series, and as Mr. Slingshot is going to take you through the grid order. I am just pleased to be a part of the commentary team. So let's have some slingshot and good time. All right, starting off at P1, we have Topa in P1. Very good qualifier from Topa. In P2, we have a rookie to the driver's room, Mr. Mark GT. In third position, we have Frog, a very good qualifier from Frog as well, and the Group 4 Toyota Supra. Starting off in the first M4R team, or the Spice Boys, we have Berkey Baby in the big Bugatti Veyron. Here we have Muller. Unfortunately, he had a bad last finale race in the Radical qualifiers, so he's back or with the Tier 2 boys, and the Tier 2 boys welcomes Muller with open arms. In sixth position, we have Jules in the new Nissan Silvia Group 4 car. A very, very beautiful car. In seventh position, we have Mr. Jason Haldir in his Flammobile. In eighth, we have DRC Kimaru, or King Kim, as some call him in the driver's room. Very good to see King Kim back in action. In ninth position, we have Dennis in the quite underpowered Renault Trophy, but I'm pretty sure this car will shine later in the season. And in last place, we have Taco Catbell, and it is looking to be a very good first opener. Just a disclaimer, the servers are quite unstable still in the first season of Adec, but let's see how it goes, even with a little bit of server lag. All right, here we go. Slingshot's first commentary video. And we are off for round one at High Speed Ring. It is a very fast circuit and not a lot of corners, but very high speed overall through the entire track. As we see, Topa has a very good start in the 458, and Frog, a very good start, got himself immediately up to P2. Mark has been the biggest loser so far. He has dropped down 2 positions. As we see Muller in the back. Oh, Muller in the back has crashed. Oh, and he gets himself a 5-second penalty. We have penalty zones in this game now. Let's take a look back with Muller. Let's see what happened in the first initial turn. Could it be a little bit of lag? Oh yeah, I think this is a little bit of lag, or maybe just some. Oh, and we see Halder also getting a little penalty there. So Jason looks to be waiting for Muller. He has dropped off his pace, and Muller is now crippled. It's going to be a hard race to catch up, since this is such a fast track. It's not going to be easy for anyone to actually gain much. Topa still in P1 though. We see Berkey has gotten himself up into P2 in that mighty Bugatti V12, I think, or is it V16? I think it's V16. As we see, Taco is a little bit laggy, but the servers just still needs a little bit of optimization. As we see Frog in third, we have Mark GT trying to defend against Jules in the Sylvia. The Sylvia is not too strong on the straights. As we see Kim also trying to go past Dennis, or trying to defend from Dennis. The Sylvia isn't the fastest car around, but it probably will shine in the later stages of the season. As we see, there's a little bit of lag from Jules as well, but you know, it is what it is. Polyphony needs to optimize the servers as soon as possible. Back to the race, as we see Berkey has dropped down to third. The Bugatti will not be very strong in the turns. It will be a beast in the straights though, and luckily we got no Scoobies, so the Scoobies won't be as overpowered as they are. I just need to make sure I check something here. There we go. Sorry for that. I had to turn my phone on mute in case someone would call. A typical slingshot thing might be a thing to watch out for. As we see Jules still trying to follow down Berkey, and Frog, he is looking to stay behind Topa. And we have a new beautiful camera angle, replay angle, as we see them going through this turn very high. As we see Berkey trying to defend against Jules. Jules is really on the hunt for a third at the moment. Doing quite well in the underpowered Sylvia. Sylvia is not that fast on the straight. And we see Berkey using the hard tires. That's the big difference between Gran Turismo Sport and Gran Turismo 7. The tires are a lot more balanced. Hard tires can be used for pretty much 90% of the race, I would assume. Medium tires will burn off a little bit faster, and soft tires are more or less a qualifying tire these days. So a good race seems to have balanced a little bit now, as we see Frog still staying on Topa's ass, or Topa's behind, trying to stay in the slipstream, save fuel and tires. As we see Jules in fourth, still hasn't been able to get past Berkey, and he goes for a dive into what I would assume is turn 3, into turn 4. Turn 2 maybe? Turn 3? Yeah. And it was a good dive from Jules, and he is now up into third place. Maybe Berkey is going for the long haul in this one, as we see Mark GT has dropped down all the way to 5th. The Aston Martin not being able to follow so closely. Kim in the Sylvia as well in 6th place. And looks like Kim is also going for the long haul. Dennis not able to keep up at all, even with the Sylvia. And we see Taco there, or David maybe, or Schroeder. I'm just gonna call him Taco. Muller has gotten himself up to 9th, and Halder let Muller through. Not a good race for Halder. From what we understand, Halder's wheel and pedals have broken, so he's back on a pad. And let's hope he can get some decent results this season. It's going to be a very long season with 9 races. There is no Group 1 this time around, or this year. We have all limited the groups to Group 4, 3, and 2 for Season 1 or 2022. As we see, Topa is starting to inch away a little bit from Frog. Seems like the whole thing is stabilizing a little bit. Very good sounds in Gran Turismo 7, that's for sure. Slingshot Sherberg likes what he sees, and please don't mock me for my name. My parents are evil. They like Petter Solberg and thought a different version of Petter Solberg would be cool, so they called me Slingshot. So yeah, they're an evil bunch of people. So Slingshot Sherberg is here to stay. As we see, Jules is trying to catch up to the top two. A little onboard action there from Jules. As we see, Frog is still on Topa's behind, trying to just stick with the slipstream. Just look at how close they are at the end of the first big straight. They're going high. Let's see how the people go through the turn. High for the top 5. And Kim seems to be breaking the pattern, going low. What about Dennis? He stays high. And Taco. Wow, look at this front tires. He's opted to go for the soft tires as he slams into the wall. We're only on lap 7, and look at the right front tire already. Muller on the racing hard, so he's going for the long haul as well. I think the hard tire is probably the best choice on this track. I think the biggest issue for the racers will be the fuel. Jason has opted to go for the racing soft. Like I said, more or less a qualifying tire these days. As we go back to Topa and the Frog, seems like Topa and Frog are the closest rivals on track right now. I'm amazed they don't slam into the wall, actually. Very good and decent race from these two so far. We're only on lap 8. As we see, Jules is trying to close in on Frog. It just lacks the top speed on the start-finish straight. But look at how close Jules is. Is Jules going to try and go for a move on Frogman? As we see, there's a little bit of lag still from Jules, but that I think is more server related. We've seen a few lag moments in the daily races as well. Just take a look at Super GT's videos and all that, and the servers are really not up to snuff just yet. Let's go on board with Frogman again. Topa scraping away some paint. Just look at Frog's tires now. He's on racing soft. We have Topa on racing mediums. So Frog technically will probably go into the pits a lot sooner than Topa. It could be a two-stopper for Frog. We still have about 48 minutes to go. But Frog is doing an amazing job to keep up. As we see, Jules has dropped off a little bit. Just not able to keep up with the pace as well as the two front drivers. Mark has gotten himself up into P4. And we have Berkey has dropped down to 5. The big burly Bugatti is probably not that easy to get around the twisties. That is the big problem with the Bugatti. It's a big, heavy beast. Does have a lot of power, a lot of speed, but just not the smoothness of the other handling cars. As we see, Kimaru is now up into 6th place. Just keeping his nose clean. And he's going low. Going for the safer route instead of scraping the paint off his car. Probably something he feels a lot more comfortable with. As we see Dennis in 7, just trying to keep up, but there's just no speed in the trophy. The trophy is a good car. I did I've raced that in Gran Turismo Sport, and I've had a lot of good moments with the trophy. As we see Muller in 6th. As we can see, the field is stabilizing, and there's not a lot of action, and it's very difficult to catch up on a track such as this. It's just high-speed corners, more or less. Never dropping really below 150 kilometers an hour. As we see Taco with, oh my goodness, look at his front right. That Mazda is not kind to its tires. We're on lap 11, and Taco's tires are just gone. Oh, Mr. Schroeder there. Haldir still in 10th, and he has been into the pits and gotten himself a new set of racing mediums. So let's see if he can catch up a little bit to Mr. Schroeder. As we see Topa and Frog still battling that out. Topa not able to shake Frog. And Frog is a good driver. We haven't seen a lot of him in Adec for a while, so it's good to see the Frogman back in action. Oh my goodness, look at his right side tires. They're worse than Taco's. Overall they're worse, but Taco has even worse right front tire wear. It looks like Frog is dropping off Topa's slipstream for the moment. But he's still trying to keep up. It looks like that Supra is quite fast on the straights. Or as they say in the YouTube memes, is that a Supra? Have to do a few comical memes there. I didn't like the Supra in the beginning. Didn't look like a Supra to me, but have definitely fallen for the new Supra. It is a beautiful looking car. Takes some time getting used to. This one and the Toyota GT86, as we see Frog scraping some paint off that beautiful motor. As we have Jules now in the picture as well. 3rd place for Jules, still keeping up the good work, and I must say that is a very, very beautiful livery he's got. He's usually in a Volvo-ish livery, and it looks very Volvo-ish still. And Jules always pops out very good and clean, beautiful liveries. One of the best makers, I would say. of liveries. And Mark still doing good for his first race in Adec. Good showing. Maybe the Aston Martin will shine later in the season. We will have 2 Group 4 races, 2 Group 3 and 2 races, and then we will have 3 final races with tuning. The first 6 races are tuning prohibited and BOP on, and I would assume it's BOP on in the tuning races, but the only difference is you can tune the setup, the downforce, and all that. So that's a trial we're doing for season 1. Berkey still keeping up in the mighty Bugatti and just going for the long haul. He might be fuel saving. Maybe it's a one stop, maybe it's a no stop. As we see, Kim is sticking with Berkey for the moment, but still far behind. Beautiful sounding Sylvia though. The sound is something Polyphony has been very what's the word? They've done a good job with the sound in Gran Turismo 7. As we see Muller in the background. Definitely going for the long haul. In the McLaren. A very good car. We have Jason now up in 9th position. Doing well. As we see Frog now into the pits, same with Topa, and wow, look at Topa's tires on mediums, and wow. Holy, whoa. Look at Frog's tires. The fact that he's been able to keep that car on the track is astounding to me. Wow. As we see Topa coming out of the pits, will she come in front of? No. She comes out behind Mr. Kimaru, and that is one thing that is new with Gran Turismo Sport. Even though we got the penalty gates, if you cross the pit exit line, you will get smacked in the butt with a 3-second penalty. So that is also a thing for all the drivers to remember, to not cut the pit entry line or the pit exit line. Otherwise, you'll get a sledgehammer to your sack. So that's another thing for people, girls and boys to remember. As we see, Topa is starting to catch in on Kimaru. Kim will have to stay out of trouble, and they are not in the same strategy. So will Kim make life hard for Topa, or will he just let Topa go? Going on board with Topa. As you can see, there's a lot of dashboard left in these cars because they're basically road cars with a little bit of race modding to them. The Silvia is more or less a touring car, so more of the cockpit is stripped away. But these cars do not have a lot of standard brakes or suspension or anything. As we see Topa is right on the behind of Kim. Will Kim get out of the way, or will Kim make life hard? Looks like Kim is making life hard for Topa. Or will Kim stay? Kim staying high in the last turn, making it easy for Topa to get past. A very easy overtake from Topa. As we see, Frog is coming up behind now, charging towards the Norwegian. We see Dennis is still out. There's barely any tire wear on the Racing Hearts, but he just has no power on the straight. I can just imagine Dennis just sitting in his cockpit, pushing his whole body back and forth just to try and get that car moving faster. As we see Muller in his beautiful livery. I think it's Castrol, I think. 262 kilometers an hour on the straight. Good top speed from the Mackie. As we see Jason, his mediums are starting to wear down. Still holding up very good pace though. Taco now, about to be lapped. The 917 car. He probably won't make life hard for Topa. As we see Jules now in first. He is going for the long haul. The mediums are looking good-ish so far. So he should be able to stay out for a few more laps as we see them scraping into the wall. It's a shame that the servers aren't more stable. Mark GT now up into P2. Also staying for the long haul on Racing Hards. I think the biggest issue for the long haul drivers is probably the fuel. Been driving for 24 minutes. As we see Berkey in third. Looking very good on fuel, very good on tires. So could this be a one-stop from Mr. Berkey? Or maybe he's going for the infamous and most difficult strategy of all, a no-stop. It really doesn't look that fast when it goes through the cameras. So we see Topa. And Frog has gotten past Kim and Taco. Frog is chasing down Topa for all that it's worth. Oh, I think we heard a little scraping from, yeah, scraping from Topa's car there. A little scratch on the paint. Liking the livery from Topa's car. Slingshot approves. Alright, coming back on lap 27 and 34 minutes. Unfortunately, we've had technical malfunction from Topa, and Topa has been forced to retire her car. Steering failure, and she unfortunately had to park the car. Shame we couldn't get that. As we see Frog drifting through turn 2. Oh my goodness. As we see Berkey is closing in on Frog, and as we see Berkey has not been into the pits. 35 minutes in, and Berkey is still staying out. And he's actually catching up to Frog. Going on board with Berkey. Purple Spice. Just listen how quiet this engine is compared to the other machines on track. It's not a very noisy engine, the Bugatti engine, but we have Kim in fourth, and wow, look at his fuel and Berkey's fuel. Kim will definitely have to go into the pits in a few short laps, I would assume. His fuel will definitely not last until the end. Berkey's might, as we see Muller on a lot lower fuel loads than Kim, and that trophy does not use fuel at all. That trophy is very stingy on the fuel. Technically, Dennis could probably just go in and refuel and not take tires. As we see, Taco is unlapping himself. There's nothing Dennis can do other than having the blue flags waved in his face. And there's nothing Dennis can do. Oh my goodness. Jules down in 7th. He has been into the pits. We have Schroeder there. We have Jason. Let's see how the pit gates work. Penalty gates. Get slowed down. And there we go. In the previous season of Adec, we've had a rule that if you have a penalty, you are not allowed to overtake anyone unless you remove that penalty. That penalty rule has now been thrown out the window and crushed by a sledgehammer, and the penalty gates basically more or less has solved that problem. Mark GT in first, and he probably will have to go into the pits at some time and get some fuel. Tires aren't looking that bad, but he definitely will have to go into the pits and get some more go-go juice. And look at Frog's tires. Oh, he's just scraping alongside the last turn as he dives into the pits. Careful there, and he gets himself a 5-second penalty for his troubles. He cut the penalty line with extremes. As we see Kimaru coming up. And will he go into the pits? No, he does not. He could also just go in and get some fuel and not take tires. I think that would be the smartest and safest bet for all of them, to skip tires. As we see, Muller is very low on fuel now. The thing is, with the McLaren, you have to shift it halfway, about the line between the kilometers there and the gear. And still, that car has drunk all of its fuel. And it doesn't look like Let's see if Kimaru actually fuel saves when he shifts. Kimaru does not fuel save at all. He's going full blast. We have Muller there showing that he's gearing the car properly, and still that car has drunk all of its fuel. Even with the short shifting of that McLaren, that car just drinks all of its fuel as we see him going into the pits. Jules now going up to claim P4 again. And we have Kim up into P3. We have Dennis in 5th. Probably won't need a fuel or pit stop just yet. Frog there in 6th behind Haldir. Haldir is a lap behind. Two Supras. Haldir is not yielding. Or, yeah, he is. Oh, and Frog just unbalancing his car right there. Muller has taken on more than half a tank of fuel. That should last him for the last 16-17 minutes. Haldir. He's on Racing Soft again. You really shouldn't be on Racing Soft. Racing hard for Mr. Schroeder, aka Taco. Taco Catbell. Mark GT in 1st. He has Berkey Baby right behind. Oh, you can't see anything from the back window. Mr. Jack Daniels has blocked the view. To this day, I've never tasted a drop of Jack Daniels. Maybe I should. I'm surprised about Berkey. Doesn't look like he has any intention of going into the pits just yet. Nor Mark. Well, Mark will have to go in soon. His fuel levels are mighty low. We have Kim going into the pits. And Jules will claim 3rd. What is Kim doing? Will he take on fuel and tires? Kim takes on new tires as well. What will he go out on? As we follow Kim a little bit now. Taking on a lot of fuel, and he goes out on mediums. So he's going for a sprint last stint, the last 15 minutes. Muller in 7th, coming out way behind Kim. Coming back on lap 39 and 10 minutes remaining of the race, we have Berkey Baby now in P1, and Berkey still has not gone into the pits. It looks like he has fuel towards the end. It looks like he has tires. It looks like he has that car under control, which really surprises me because, you know, the Veyron is a very thirsty car. Maybe not the Group 4, but yeah, the Veyron is a thirsty car. And he's managed to keep that car well under control. Tires are still looking good, even though they're worn a little bit from the hard compound. We have Jules in 2nd place. His tires are starting to wear off a little bit, but I think he should be good towards the very end. Mark GT has been into the pits, gotten a new set of soft tires and some fuel that should last him towards the very end. Frog with a 5-second penalty. Oh, as we see Frog almost smashing it into the wall there. But yeah, he might lose his position to Dennis, and Dennis has yet to pit. Will Dennis also go for a no-stopper? Or will Dennis have to fuel? And Frog is serving his penalty. Where's Kim? There's Kim. He has been into the pits with some new tires, gotten some new tires and some more fuel. Mjolnir Racing looking good. Right now Kim is in the Shadow Realm position, as Super GT would say. We have Muller in 7th. Muller had a very unlucky start with his little kerfuffle with Jason. Jason in 9th. He is right behind Muller. It's hammer time for Jason. Schroeder in 9th. And Berkey still in 1st. He has done a remarkable job of keeping that car out on track. No refuel and no tire change. Will it last towards the end? We have 8 minutes remaining of the race. Round 1 is about to almost be done. Looking good for Purple Spice. We have Jules. He has been into the wall or something. Maybe he's got smacked up the butt. But he has damage on his rear end. And in Tier 2 we have light damage. So it should disappear within 30 seconds or so. And it doesn't look like there's any damage on Mark's car. So maybe Jules has spun somewhere. As you see, Mark is closing in. Frog now in 4th. Oh, he has another 5-second penalty. So whatever Frog is doing, his concentration has completely gone down the drain. As we see Kim coming towards turn 2. Catching up to Frog, just the tiniest a bit. Dennis has come out behind Kim and just in front of Mr. Muller. As we see Haldir there. With his super hot livery. Mr. Schroeder. We have Berkey still in 1st. He looks to be in full control of this race. As we see, Mark has gone past Jules. Taking a look back with Mark and Jules. Looks like Mark has a better run on Jules out of the last turn. And we can't see anything, of course, because of Jack Daniels in the window. A very good overtake, just a slipstream overtake from Mark, which puts him into 2nd position. 5 minutes remain of round 1. Oh, wow. I don't think Jules is able to take second place back. Oh, as we see Mark just scraping the walls towards the through the last turn. It will definitely lose him a few tenths. But it looks like that Aston Martin has some pep in the straight. 250 for the Aston, and there we have 250 for the Silvia, so the Aston Martin is a lot faster down the straight line. As we see Frog still just trying to keep himself in front of Kim. He has managed to get himself away from Muller and Dennis. Muller has gotten himself in front of Dennis. Nothing Dennis could do. Muller is closing in just a tiny bit on the Norwegian. Muller's done good to get himself back into sixth after his spin on lap one. The one rule we have in driver's room: if you take someone off, you have to slow down and let them regain their position, and then you can start fighting them again. Otherwise, the stewards will take offense and start slapping you with sexy little post-race penalties. And it looks to me like Dennis still hasn't been into the pits. So I think Dennis might be going for a no-stopper. But that could be dangerous because we got Haldir and he's low on fuel as well. We have 2 minutes remaining of the race. Haldir has been in a few times. Will Dennis be able to hold off Mr. Haldir? Still a bit of a way off from Dennis. Frog still staying safe in fourth. Jules has dropped off from Mark now. His tires just not able to keep up with Mark and his fresher tires. Mark is looking very low on fuel. We have Berkey also very low on fuel. Will he be able to make another lap? I think he will. It's probably barely just enough fuel left in the tank for one final lap. And Berkey will probably be able to have this win secured for the season opener. Sounds more like a truck or something. Mark looks to have to drive one more lap around High Speed Ring. This is a track we're gonna come back to in round 7 with tuning on. Jules also has to do another lap. Frog will be the first to finish. He's had a very good race, maybe a little unfortunate in the pit strategies, but otherwise a very good race from Frog. As we see Kim in the back. A good race finish for Frog. We have Kim, we have Muller, and we have Dennis. I think Dennis actually managed a no-stop, so very good job to Dennis. Haldir manages to come home in 8th. We have Taco Campbell or Schroeder in 9th. is, yeah, Berkey is about to come home to take the win with a no-stopper in the season opener. Very good job from him in the Bugatti Veyron. Very excellent and dominating win from Berkey. Did nothing wrong the entire race. Mark GT in second and Jules in third. I've been your host, Slingshot Cherberg, and come back next week for round number 2 in Deep Forest. Bye-bye.